Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of CAP Explained. Today's episode is gonna be a short one. I want to show you how you can debug. So we added quite a lot of code in our service, and it would be good to know how we can see how the code works to debug it, and not always display everything by console logging it. It's an easy way to do it, but it can be done better. So here on the left hand side, you can actually see that there is a run and debug option. And if you click on it, you can see we get this three panels: call stack, watch, and variables. Let's remove this variable for now. And you can see that here you can start debugging. So start the server in a debug mode. And you can choose CDS serve to do that. And if you actually go here to VS Code to launch.json. Here we can define different configurations to debug. You can do different types here. I'm not going to focus in the details, but I just want to show you that when you go here and press this CDS serve configuration will be run. Okay, this is the basic. When you create a project, an initial project, it's going to be created. So let's just press on it. And after clicking, you're gonna see that the Ctrl+Shift+C, I open the terminal, and here we have the debug console. So the server runs as usual in 4004, and you can just open it and open any application we want to debug. But before we do that, I want to put some breakpoints. So in the last episode, we added this code, and let's just show you how this debug is working. So now if I open the application, the this.afterRead is executed. You can see in the page everything here is still loading. It's not gonna load in the data. It's gonna wait for me to execute this code. And what can we actually use here in this debug panel? So for the debug panel, you get the call stack, and the call stack you get the information to what methods, what functions have been executed. The second one is the variables. The variables, which can be global, and closure, and local. You can see for now we've got it's pulled automatically. So wherever you are, wherever you are in the scope, it's gonna give you automatically the variables. So for example, I don't need to console log the authors variable, but I can just see here that this is an array with 10 variables inside. If we open it, we can actually see all of the data that is going to be read into the application, which we cannot see it because this handler hasn't been executed. So you can watch your data here. You can add variables of your own. There's no good example really here, but let's say I'm going to add the author. When you right click on a variable, you can press add to watch to add this variable to your debug console. Then you can watch anytime. Usually they all appear here, but sometimes when you have the request and you don't want to see the whole request, maybe you just want to see rec.data, then you can easily right click it and it will appear here. And now the debug is stopped here. You can of course continue so everything will run smoothly until the next breakpoint. You can press step over, which is executing one line of code. You can click here or F10. I'm pressing now on my keyboard. You can see that it jumped one step further, and then the IDs variable has been added because the IDs is now defined and filled. So 10 variables with some IDs. If I press F10 again, I'm gonna do a further step, and now we have the book counts, which is showing me all of the values that have been selected. Okay, and now you can see that this author variable is uncaught because it's not in the scope yet. If I press F10 yet now, we're gonna F10 again. We're gonna enter the for loop, and the variable is defined and declared, so we can actually see the value, and it's gonna change depending on on every index that we're gonna jump. Okay. Yeah, and that's what I want to show you, guys. You can also step into. So if you've got a function here, you can jump into the function by pressing step into. If you want to exit from the current scope you are in, you can press step out to go out of there. If I actually press this, I believe it's gonna take me to some standard CAP code, which we cannot do much here. It's not that relevant. If I press on continue, F5, it's going to continue with the application. You can see that it's everything is being read as usual. And now if I click on something, again, it's going to stop on my breakpoint because that this dot after a read a handler is valid for not only the list view, but also for the object page. So again, it stops. And we can again see what values are being held inside here. And you can see that this time we only have one author because we of course have one author on the object page. You can see, but you can see that the object is much more filled. We've got the file name, file type from the attachment that we have in our entity. So yeah, I hope this will help you. Definitely a must-have for a developer to use. Not a very complicated thing. You can also press on restart to just reload the whole application. You don't need to press on stop and then go. You can just restart everything. Okay, guys, that's gonna be it for this episode. As I said, a short one, but a very important and helpful one. Thanks for watching. As always, leave a comment, a subscription, and a like.